You don't know the trueness of the bombada. YouTube. I got a comment in the last upload of somebody telling me that it looked like I hated the stream. By having Wi-Fi problems for so long. It's unbelievable. With that being said, fuck my man's Damani. Reacting to
Nigga sound like fucking what's his name, bro? Fucking yeah, for real.
It's July 8th, 2021. A Ring camera captures 23-year-old Chandler Halderson going around the neighborhood asking people if they saw his parents, Bart and Krista. According to Chandler, they had packed their bags for the 4th of July weekend to head to the family cabin in White Lake, Wisconsin, with another couple to repair a fireplace. But as days passed, Chandler claims he couldn't reach them. Their phones went straight to voicemail.
So my last message I got from them, they were going to White Lake for the 4th of July.
Fucking looks like a Chandler.
To a cabin.
Why would they not call? Why wouldn't there be a text or something? We were worried that, are they being held hostage somewhere?
Little did anyone realize, Bart and Krista were already long gone, and what detectives were about to uncover would reveal a web of financial lies, fake identities, and a cold-blooded killer hiding in plain sight.
I think it's time we start talking about what happened to your parents. Like the truthful version. What? Because listen to me. This is the only chance you're gonna have to tell us the truth. We know your parents are no longer with us. Okay, and we know the reason why.
Parents? Oh shit.
It's July 7th, 2021. 23-year-old Chandler Michael Halderson enters the Dane County Sheriff's Office and files a missing person report for his parents, Bart and Krista.
I don't trust nobody with them.
According to
eyes.
Chandler, they went to the family cabin in
what colored eyes and they're bald. I don't trust them.
White Lake, Wisconsin on Friday, July 2nd to spend the 4th of July holiday in the wilderness. They were supposed to be back by Monday, but it's Wednesday and there's still no sign of them. Their phones are also going straight to voicemail, which Chandler notes isn't unusual due to extremely poor cell service near the cabin. Investigators wonder if maybe they decided to stay there a few days longer for whatever reason, but Chandler's girlfriend, Catherine, offers a different perspective.
His parents are usually like on time, but like it was like
damn, that's his girl name?
They'll be back, you know. And then like they're supposed to be back early Tuesday morning if
that
they
ain't
make
good.
it back Monday night. And it's like his dad's very punctual.
Okay.
So, and like his mom was supposed to work Tuesday.
Both are missing from work, and Krista is even at risk of getting fired if she doesn't show up. Normally, they would at least make an effort to inform their son and their workplaces about the extended leave before committing to it. Something isn't right. This suspicion only deepens with the discovery that the two of them didn't leave on their own. According to Chandler, they were picked up by friends on the morning of July 2nd before he woke up. And he has no idea who those friends were. For all they know, Bart and Krista could be anywhere. What the investigators don't realize is that Chandler knows a lot more than he's letting on. Something that'll become increasingly obvious as the investigation goes on. For now, officers go looking for the couple at the cabin. In the meantime, Chandler spends the rest of the day talking to local news networks, spreading the word about his missing parents as much as possible, hoping someone with more information might turn up.
Chandler Halderson says his parents, Krista and Bart, were getting picked up by friends that Friday.
Their plans were going up with their friends and do some minor repairs on our cabin.
That cabin is some 3 hours away from Windsor on a lake in a small community in Langlade County.
I was told they'd be home Monday or Tuesday, and Tuesday afternoon I got a little worried.
Chandler seems deeply concerned for the safety of his parents, who supported him every step of the way. They were a bit strict at times, but those who knew them described them as some of the most reliable people in their lives. Bart was the kind of neighbor who would quietly shovel your driveway without being asked, And Krista was a free spirit who loved her children more than anything in the world.
There was parents. They're important. Like, I hang out with them. We play Mario Kart. His mom makes the Toad sound every time she selects Toad.
Wait, so...
No, Yoshi. The Yoshi sound.
So does she know that he killed?
The ba-dang. That's
Yeah.
exactly how she does it.
How old is she? I don't want to say nothing great.
Lose every time, but like... like, I don't know. I just don't understand how you couldn't, like...
My fault.
Be worried or emotional.
I know. I mean, that's why we're here. We're worried.
Yeah.
They're worried.
Like,
As
At their family cabin, officers
worried,
meet
though? I
Chandler's
don't think she
older
really
brother,
worried.
Mitchell, and his girlfriend, and begin
Oh,
looking
this is
around
him.
for any signs of the
Wait, no, it's
couple.
not. I'm sure.
Hi there. I'm Detective Sergeant Groans with Lane Lake County. Are you guys
Hey there.
Halderson?
you
Detective
okay? You are
Shindig with
affiliated
Searway
with
County?
them?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
What's your relation?
I'm their son.
You're their son. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we could just take a walk around and see. You would know the property probably better
You
than
would
we
know the
would.
property?
Changed a bit since I've been here, but yeah.
Sure. How long is it been in the family?
Oh, it's always been in the family since the 40s.
Okay. Do you guys typically use it a lot or?
A few times a year. That's when my parents come up. I haven't come in a while.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me
Is it
let me
true
just
that a
grab my
lot of
windows
people
quick
from
and then
PA
we'll
moved to
take a
Canada?
look around and we'll go from there. Okay. Do you guys have a boat or anything up here?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to try to
This
get
guy
to.
got a Canadian accent. He said, "Do you guys have a
Boathouse?
boat or
Okay.
anything up here?"
I mean, everything was still pretty closed up. Like,
For now, nothing seems
watching how
suspicious,
police
but
captured
officers still
Wisconsin's
haven't
perfect
entered the
sun killer.
cabin. It's locked from all sides, forcing them to break their way in, hoping to find any clues that indicate where the couple could be.
Well, I mean, he was the perfect sun killer, so I mean, I guess he just like killed
Sheriff's
him and
office,
got away
anybody
with it
inside?
perfectly.
Announce your
almost.
presence, make yourselves known.
Pantry.
I don't even know why would you like. I don't know how you could be so evil.
And
Even if you hate your
there's a
parents,
trapdoor
like,
basement.
even if you
Upstairs looks pretty small.
like, bro, I couldn't even.
Made up.
I don't know,
You check
bro.
these two doors or?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would just leave him alone. Like if it's something serious, I'll just fly to another
The cabin
country.
is surprisingly empty. The dust covering every
Restart my
surface
life
is
as somebody
completely
of completely
intact.
different
There are
ethnic-
no fresh supplies,
like,
and the
ethnic group.
foliage surrounding the cabin is completely undisturbed. As Mitchell mentioned, it is only used a few times a year, and judging by its condition, it's clear the place hasn't been used in a long time, not a few days earlier, as Chandler mentioned.
the context
Officers
is,
then
bruh
force
killed his
open the boat
parents.
cabin
I
nearby
wouldn't
to
even,
see if they
like,
can
even
find
no
any
matter
clues
how mad
there.
I would be, bruh, I would just leave the country if I was that mad.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
So
Silly.
does your
Makes you
family
wonder,
have any
like-
other property like up here or any area?
Bruh,
at all?
bruh probably think he in an anime or some shit.
The boat shed nearby also has all 3 boats that the Haldersons own. And with none of the boats missing, there's no
Seen that
chance
one
that they
video
set
where the
off on a
dude-
boating
the dude's
adventure
mom is
either.
crying. She's like, "I found a head in his room," and they're interviewing the kid. Now listen. They're interviewing the kid, right? And at first he's like, yeah, what's going on, officer? How was your day? This, that, and then the officer's like, yeah, your mother called us because she had a concern about a human head and hands in your room, and he's like, yeah, there's a human head and hand in my room. And like he switched his voice to like some sinister ass like Dexter, like Bay Harbor Butcher shit, like.
All signs point to the couple never making it to the cabin,
Bro, I really
which
thought he
begs
was
the
in a
question,
TV show,
what
bro.
happened
Like,
to
he
them?
thought they was just
The
gonna,
answer
like,
to which is far more gruesome
look
than
away and he can
anyone
run
could
away or
have ever
some shit and
imagined.
go on the run, killing people.
With that, the investigators point their focus toward Bart and Krista's last known location, their home. And it looks
What's that behind
exceptionally
you?
ordinary at first glance. The first thing that stands out is the fireplace, as it's missing one of its glass panes. A bit
What?
odd, but nothing immediately alarming. But Then the investigators look deeper and notice that parts of the house are unusually clean, as if they were scrubbed very recently. Floor tiles and cabinets are missing from the kitchen, which Chandler claimed were due to ongoing renovation. But the most important clues are the massive bloodstains splattered throughout the house, and especially in the basement. These are also not visible to the naked eye, as they were likely cleaned recently. But using luminol, investigators are able to uncover a concerning amount of these stains. This is another immediate red flag, since it'd make a lot more sense for these stains to be at the cabin if something went wrong there, not inside the house. The only person who can provide more information on it is Chandler. He was also the last person who saw Bart and Krista the day they supposedly left for the cabin. So, on the morning of July 8th, less than 24 hours after the initial report, Chandler is picked up by officers and
escorted. You don't even look
escorted.
like the type to panic. I'm telling you, bro. This dude is sinister. Like, just looking at him, bro, like the vibe he give me, bro, you look like he'll stab you and just like Michael Myers.
To the public safety building for an interview for questioning. He's been fully cooperative so far, and detectives expect that to continue. But as soon as he's left alone, CCTV in the interrogation room captures him doing something extremely weird.
3, 2.
What the fuck is he doing?
It's almost as if Chandler is trying to listen in on what the detectives are talking about outside. Now, this could be chalked up to him being curious and just wanting to know if the detectives have any leads, but if that's the case, he can just ask them directly when they come in for the interview. When they do enter the room, he does ask them about officers going through his house.
By the way, a detective at my house said something's happened, and while we were leaving, people were going inside. Is there a warrant for my house?
Should there be?
No, I'm just wondering if...
Okay.
Can they go in?
As far as I know, they were at your house and they were going to be there talking to you to ask if you would come up here and talk to us.
But Officer Haley just like walked pretty much in to the gate, you know, the gate on the outside. She just kind of walked in. I was wondering if...
Was that when you were getting your wallet?
No, we were I was in the car waiting to leave. I was just wondering if everything's okay, because she said something's happened.
The unusual discoveries they made at the house are still a big mystery, and Chandler's sudden concern about what they found is raising more suspicion. But for now, detectives aren't putting any direct blame on Chandler. The last thing they want is for him to stop talking and ask for a lawyer. Instead, they're focused on getting his side of the story in its entirety. What they don't expect is that Chandler came prepared. But before we continue, I want to quickly tell you about something. With Mother's Day coming up, I've been thinking about gifts, and earbuds just made the most sense.
I gotta edit that
My mom is
out.
always out doing something, whether that's going for a walk, running errands, or taking calls while she's on the move. So earbuds feel like a genuinely practical gift. And that's actually why this video is sponsored by Raycon. Their essential open earbuds have open ear design, so she can listen to music or a podcast while still hearing what's happening around her, which is a big part of why I like them too. I've been using mine daily, at the gym, out and about, or just working from home. They're the ones I actually reach for over my other earbuds because I can still hear what's going on. It's guaranteed. Click the link.
To last Wednesday.
Wednesday. I was with my dad.
In ad video.
What
In
time
video.
Wednesday? I remember it. It was kind of a bad day.
Okay. Why was it a bad day?
Well, my mom had
Chandler
work,
was having
so
a bad
she was
day.
gone.
That's what
My
he's saying
Dad
right now.
and I were watching something over lunch. It was The Wheel of Fortune.
That's the person who killed his
And
parents.
we normally have the couch, like with our back facing our.
So
The
I'm saying,
table we
any
sat
Chandler
at
would
the
do
end
this.
of you coming
Downstairs or upstairs?
downstairs.
Okay.
You know, that room with the TV.
Nah,
I tossed
Chandler
the ball,
from Mr. Beast. Nah, there's definitely
and
something
I
up with Buddy.
smashed the glass.
Don't even say it.
Okay.
With the dog's help. That Yeah, set my dad off, and we tried to clean it up.
I know the real Chris Tyson.
I don't know about him, but I got injured.
In just a single minute, Chandler manages to provide a seemingly reasonable explanation for the missing glass on the fireplace. What the detectives don't know at the time is just how stomach-churning the truth of this broken fireplace glass would turn out to be. He then continues the same story to explain the other suspicious thing investigators found: the blood.
All right, so you were tossing a ball. What type of ball was it?
Just this gross, hairy tennis ball that Rizzo loves.
All right, just like a green tennis ball, like a normal
tennis ball.
Yeah.
Normal. Okay.
With the squeaker, not like a tennis racquetball, but
they don't chew those. My dog chews those out of the tennis ball. They just chew the squeakers out, and then they don't play with them anymore. All right, so you was tossing that around, broke the fireplace glass. You said you were injured. What type of injury?
I got a pretty deep hole in my foot. Last night, Mary looked at it, and she said the reason it keeps bleeding is because there's glass in it.
Oh,
so,
that's the. You showed us your toe.
Yeah, I showed the detective.
Yeah.
Catherine, who's being interviewed at the same time, also corroborates this story. But there's one notable contradiction between what Chandler first claims and what she saw.
I mean, are we talking massive amounts of blood? Or are we talking, a little bit, like describe?
It started as drops until I got to the bathroom. And then I got back to go grab my sock and some of the paper towel. And then I see the glasses in there, so I grab the tweezers and I pull it out. And then it starts squirting out.
And did you see, the blood in the glass? Was that all picked up?
It was pretty much all picked up, except a little bit of glass was still there.
How are they talking about all this blood and glass?
Honestly, I didn't see a lot of blood.
Normally,
probably because
how do you see all that blood and you're
only
just
cut on his
chilling?
big toe.
Chandler states that the blood was gushing everywhere
pinky.
from his massive wound, while Catherine claims that she didn't see any. So either she wasn't paying much attention while at his house, or Chandler is lying about the severity of his injury. But that's just the tip of the iceberg
but I
of
cut my thumb on the
inconsistencies
window
in
and I
his
wasn't
story.
tripping at first.
While
but
talking
then
about what he did on the 4th of July, Chandler mentions that he visited Catherine's mother, Dulcie Melander, for dinner. But while he was there, he had a mental breakdown due to his current condition. Apparently, he fell down the stairs in late June, resulting in him hitting his spine and receiving permanent nerve damage.
So you were swimming, having a breakdown. What were you having a breakdown about?
He fell, hit his spine, having permanent nerve damage.
You ever have
drove him crazy?
Your legs kind of? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Just.
Nah, he's not in the
I don't even know if they're done getting as
he's
bad
not
as
in
they.
No, but
can
that
be
doesn't
yet, so
say that doesn't that doesn't knock that shit though because recently there was a dude with no legs and no hands, just straight nubs.
So
he killed.
That's not it. That's it's a simple nerve damage from the hit to my spine, so it's permanent.
Okay, I understand that now better.
Yeah.
And he was climbing ladders with guns
so
on him and all
legs,
that.
I think it's
Which is
waist feeling is probably colostomy bag down the road.
He claims the damage is severe enough to cause numbness in his legs and makes it impossible for him to drive. Yet throughout his account, he describes driving to multiple places, including to Dulcie's home for a 4th of July dinner, and then later to a family friend named Dan for fireworks. At this point, detectives are starting to find contradictions in pretty much everything Chandler has to say. For instance, he claims that he went to the police because he was worried, when in reality it was Dan who convinced him to file the missing person report. He has also repeatedly claimed that Bart and Catherine left with their friends on the morning of July 2nd before he woke up. He also showed a message he supposedly received from his mother on the 4th of July, stating that they had made it safely, and that they will be going to a parade later that day. But here's the thing. These mysterious friends do not exist. CCTV footage from a neighbor's house shows that no one pulled into their driveway that morning. In fact, Krista and Bart never even left their home. So, whatever happened to them happened inside the house. Despite these contradictions, detectives are letting him continue his story.
Not 6:15 when I woke up. I was a little late that day.
6:15 Friday. Okay.
That's just when I looked at my phone.
I mean, he's a psychopath.
Dogs.
He coming up with his own
saw
stories
my
in his head and
mom's
shit.
note, the insurance for my appointment. I just ate whatever's on the counter. I think it was cornbread.
When you talking about what he ate and shit? Why are you talking about all that?
Where was the note from your mom?
That was on the kitchen. Like, there's a peninsula.
Yeah.
With the insurance stacked up. But I moved it to the table.
Okay. And then those insurance cards were there also that we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
The note Krista supposedly left for him read, "Good morning, Chandler. Hope your day goes really well." As detectives would later find out, Krista wrote this note about a week before the trip to the cabin on July 2nd. Chandler simply placed it on the living room table before going to the cops to make it seem like something she had left on the day of her disappearance. This is also where Chandler's possibly rehearsed story starts breaking down as he struggles to remember which day his girlfriend spent with him.
Alright, so Friday during the day, just played video games, kind of.
Yeah, then after work.
Yo, am I looking a little more like a Viltrumite, y'all?
That was the day Kat came over.
After whose work?
Kat.
Viltrumite forearm?
5 is her work when she was off. That might have been my own night. I might be wrong. I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think I spent that night alone. I just kind of gamed online.
I think I'm starting to look more like a Viltrumite.
Or is it Saturday night?
The detectives' suspicion only grows stronger when others outside the police force report noticing something off about Chandler as well. Earlier that day, for example, he asked to check the video feed from a neighbor's doorbell camera, and even that neighbor found his behavior suspicious. In his email to the police, the neighbor wrote, "My sister felt sorry for him. I don't see sorrow about his parents. I see concern about the angle of the cameras."
Yeah, did it capture anything on?
We don't know. We don't know. They just took a copy of everything, and so we're hoping.
Wide angle lens.
Given everything detectives know at this point, there's a strong chance that Chandler is responsible for the disappearance of his own parents.
Oh,
something
shit.
Catherine
They really
simply cannot believe to be the case.
You don't think he had anything to do with his mom and dad being unheard from?
No. I just, no.
Bruh.
No. All my friends I've talked to, they're like, no.
So what happens after that? Did he just go sit down?
Like, that'd be crazy. Sorry, I sound very monotone right now, but like, just no. No. Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Not a mean bone in his body?
Well, everyone has a mean bone. They even said Mother Teresa was sometimes, like. But I just don't see him killing Mr. Holderson.
A big reason behind this trust is the fact that Chandler has no reason to do something so drastic. He has his life figured out with a good education and work experience in many different fields at such a young age, and has already received a job offer from SpaceX. In her interview, Catherine mentions the plans the two had about getting married and moving to Florida for his job at SpaceX. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way she expected.
He got a job at
How did his doctor's
SpaceX?
appointment go on Monday or Tuesday?
He probably the one killing all these scientists and shit.
Okay. Not the best. Told him, like, hey, the stuttering will go away, but, like, the numbness is gonna, like, stay. You know? Because, like, he hit his head twice. They said, like, the numbness was from, like, a hemorrhage or something.
I just get shot in the neck.
And that's when he talked to his HR and he was like,
a random mic explodes and shoots me in the neck.
Catherine fully believes his story, completely unaware of the disturbing truth detectives would find out later. Even still, to everyone around him, Chandler appears to be living the perfect life. To them, the notion that he could kill his own parents is unimaginable. Sadly, the chances of this increase exponentially when officers make a horrific discovery near Cottage Grove Farm, which is owned by a close acquaintance of Dulcie named Krez. Groups of investigators are going after every lead while a different unit is still in the interrogation room with Chandler. So when they receive a tip from Krez about Chandler's suspicious activity on her farm, they respond immediately. And after just a few minutes of searching, discover a dismembered male torso wrapped in a tarp on Krez's farm. DNA testing confirms that it belongs to Brat. A quick search of the area also reveals several tools that were likely used to commit the murder, hidden inside an old iron barrel. Meanwhile, the investigators searching the Holderson home uncover
if you're gonna
several key
murder someone
pieces
and
of
chop 'em up,
evidence,
just feed 'em
including
to
both
pigs.
parents' phones wrapped in aluminum foil to prevent tracking. They also find 5 shell casings in the basement,
don't murder
indicating
nobody
that
at
Bart
all,
and
but-
Krista were likely shot while still inside the house. By now, detectives have enough circumstantial evidence to confront Chandler, and as soon as they do, his demeanor shifts in an instant.
I think it's time we start talking about what happened to your parents. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
truthful
time,
version.
Chandler.
Okay.
Tell us the truth.
Okay. So we have like
Give
20
up that
pages
LLC.
of writing. I'm gonna start with a clean white piece of paper for you to start telling the truth.
Okay. What?
Because listen to me. This is the only chance you're gonna have
Yep, this is it,
to tell
Chandler.
us the truth.
They're playing
Okay.
good cop,
What
bad cop
we-
right now with
listen,
this guy.
I can't tell you what we know, but we know you're not telling us the
This
truth.
guy's the good guy. The
We
bald
know your
guy's the
parents are
evil
no longer with
fuck.
us.
He's about to drill into
Okay,
him.
and we know the reason why. Okay.
You know,
need to
bald
tell
dudes
the
are
truth.
angry.
Listen.
Veins all to
You
the
need to
top
tell
of
the
their
truth
head.
about what happened, and just tell us why it happened. Okay. If something happened, if you were defending yourself, or if you just got fed up with stuff, you need to tell us the
Got
truth.
fed up with this shit,
okay?
man. Just got fed up with this
This is
shit.
your
You just
chance
blacked the
to
fuck
tell
out,
us
dude.
why.
Fucking loser,
Okay?
bro. What a fucking
I'm not
loser.
BSing you. Okay?
Nah, that's what he's about to say.
So can we do that?
Okay, they're okay. Lawyer.
Oh shit, he just said I want a lawyer.
Sorry. Say it again, Charlie. Lawyer. Okay. Because they're.
He said I'm sorry.
You
Why
want
are
a
you saying
lawyer?
I'm sorry
Yeah.
for wanting a lawyer?
He
Bro,
goes
you're
from
just- you're
obsessively
fucked,
recounting
buddy.
every minute detail of what he did while his parents were away, to suddenly going silent and asking for a
killed
lawyer.
your dad,
Krista's fate
man.
is still unknown, and Chandler's sudden silence isn't helping his case.
He literally in this
Detectives
picture
now
is
have to
wearing a
figure out the
fucking-
disturbing things he did and why. The first of these
Bro,
questions is
he
answered
literally
when
killed-
investigators
Bro,
retrace his
he killed
steps.
his pops. I ain't gonna lie, I would be like that girl from Walking Dead. Nah, I would be like that one black girl from Walking Dead who had them on a yeah. That's not torture, cause what if I find a cure? You don't have to walk around with them all the time, bro. You could just keep them entrapped. That's what I'm saying, and feed them dead bodies. Nah, what? Nah, that's crazy. I would just, bro, there's definitely gonna be dead bodies around the ground and shit during a zombie apocalypse, bro. You could just grab some dead bodies, bro. Like, and bro, just grab dead bodies, bro, off the ground and shit. But I ain't gonna lie, if it comes to a point where my mama a zombie, bro, and she gotta eat, and I can't find no dead bodies on the ground, I'm gonna just start dinking shit from the top of a watchtower. Dinking shit from the top of a watchtower. Just laying shit down. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna lay down like 10 people for the whole month. Cut them up, make some nice fillets. But that's only if it's a zombie apocalypse. This man right here is wildin'.
From the day he likely killed his parents. And what they uncover is one of the most deranged acts a son can commit against his own parents, starting with him
Demani the type
shooting
of
his
dude,
parents.
bruh. His
First
mama
Bart
zombie,
at
he's
around
just gonna kill
1:30
himself.
p.m., and then Krista when she returned from work around 5 p.m. He
Bro,
then
my
goes to
sister-in-law
Cresta's
be saying
farmhouse on
during
the
it-
3rd of July
Bro,
and
my
asks her if he
sister-in-law
could
be
use her
saying if
heated
there's ever a
swimming
zombie
pool as
apocalypse,
physical
she would just
therapy
shoot
for his
herself.
legs. She agrees and lets him in, but when she checks on him an hour later, Chandler is nowhere to be seen,
Bro, I don't
and the
give a
pool
fuck
cover
about
is
none of
still
that.
on.
Zombie
His
apocalypse,
car is
I'm
also
here. I
parked
don't
near
even
the
need a
edge of
gun.
the
Give
woods
me
with its
2
trunk open.
katanas.
She later reports this suspicious behavior,
I
leading to
promise
Bart's
you, gang,
discovery.
like-
Investigators believe he used the pool as
Oh,
a
yeah, he did
pretext
it. Look at this picture. He did it. He did it. Nah, he did it just off this picture of him. He did it. I knew
to
it.
dispose of Bart's dismembered remains in the woods. Unfortunately,
two
there are still
katanas
no clues about
and,
Krista's
like,
whereabouts.
Vigil's gear.
That is, until July
Like,
14th,
just his, like, body
when
gear.
Catherine remembers something critical. Suspecting Chandler of cheating, she had enabled location tracking on Snapchat. On July 3rd,
had
she checked his
enabled
location and was
Snapchat
surprised to see him in an area near the Wisconsin River.
Oh, she's
She took a
snitching on him.
screenshot. Chandler had actually visited this same spot many times in the past, but almost always with his parents. His random visit there on July 3rd alone was highly unusual, but as it turned out, it was anything but random. A search of the area revealed several dismembered body parts that were later confirmed to belong to Krista. Put simply, July 3rd was the day Chandler chose to dispose of the remains of his parents. Catherine's interview also helps investigators figure out what happened between him killing Brat and Krista and disposing of their remains.
They gave her a cookie.
I'm sorry.
They gave her a cookie. She started telling on him. They gave her a cookie.
So you went to East Target? You went from Hilldale to East Target?
Fucking cookie.
No, from Hilldale to apartment to grab dirty clothes and
cookie
clothes.
and snitching on him.
To East, to my mom's house, to grab the
yeah.
hydrogen peroxide and the Swiffer because Chandler broke the glass of the fireplace that day and cut his toe, so he wanted to clean that and then clean up the glass and blood. And then we had burgers for dinner because he made me burgers because he burned his hands
They keep
on
talking
the
about
grill.
what they eating.
He
for
obviously
dinner and
used the
shit.
cleaning supplies to remove the bloodstains. And while his burned hands might seem like a minor detail, they point to the most grotesque act Chandler committed
Why they
against
took
his
a picture of
parents.
bruh
Footage
foot?
from a neighbor's doorbell camera shows a bright light emanating from the Halderson home chimney on the night of July 2nd. This, combined with several bone fragments investigators found in the fireplace, tells the whole story of his
He used
brutality,
his
as
parents'
Chandler not only
chimney?
shot and dismembered his parents, but also tried to burn their remains
He
in the
tried to burn their
fireplace.
remains in the
But
fireplace.
the fire got out of hand, resulting in the glass getting shattered, and the visible burn marks around the fireplace.
Oh my
As the
goodness.
investigation comes to a close, investigators also
I knew he
find
was a psychopath,
CCTV
bruh.
footage of Chandler purchasing the tarp he used to transport Bart's remains, and also the massive bags of ice he used to keep them from decomposing. All that's left to answer now is why. Why would Chandler throw away his seemingly perfect life to commit such a heinous crime?
Oh my goodness.
But the deeper they dig into his life, the more complex the truth becomes. As it turned out, Chandler basically lied about his entire life to his parents and girlfriend. He never graduated from college, nor did he do many of the jobs he claimed
He
to have done.
lied to his girlfriend and parents. He never graduated college.
In that vein, the job offer from
The SpaceX job was fake.
SpaceX was also a complete lie.
Oh my goodness.
Looking through his devices reveals
whole
that he
life was a
created
lie.
official-sounding burner email accounts and used them to fool his parents. He would send emails to himself about his education and jobs to show how well his life was going, when in reality,
Bro.
most of his time was spent playing video games.
Bruh, oh my
Chandler-
goodness, his setup. He has a gooner setup. Oh my goodness. No, I said gooner. Well, it's a decent setup. He's just missing a PC. His PC's replaced with a printer. He's a psychopath for sure. Dual monitor printer setup with a big ass calculator. And then he got his CeraVe moisturizer right there on the top. Man, he got a couple moisturizers in here. Got some tissues on the top. And an electric trash can. So he wasn't doing nothing good in here.
Thought he had everything under control. He even exaggerated the symptoms of his fall just so he would have an excuse for not taking the fake SpaceX job. But just when he thought he was safe, Bart uncovered
exaggerated
everything.
a
Or
neck-
at least he was about to.
a neck injury,
Chandler told
so
his
he
parents
had-
that he
so he
wasn't
had a
getting
reason
his
to lie about the
transcripts
SpaceX
because they
job.
were being held up by the college.
Then he
So,
said he
on
wasn't
Ju-
getting his transcripts because they're getting held up by the college. So he was just waiting to kill everybody. He was already like, fuck it, I lied to everyone about my life. I'm a loser. I'm gonna kill them. This is premeditated. This is premeditated. You didn't want to come out because you were a loser. And you just decided to kill everybody. He's a fucking loser.
July 1st, Bart
This chap
calls the
right here is a
college
loser.
pretending to be Chandler and asks about the transcripts.
Hi. I'm trying to get an appointment scheduled to meet with somebody to mainly just get a copy of the transcript and also a printed copy of a
He's a big loser.
certificate that was earned and other degree verification.
Okay.
How do I get that done?
Okay, for the degree, you have to download the duplicate diploma form and send it in with a check or a money order. $4 for the diploma to be mailed back to you. For the transcript, you have to go online and request it.
Yeah, I tried requesting online and we never got them. And I've spent I don't know how many times doing that at $8 a piece, so I'm not willing to do that again.
Why is not letting you request your transcript? What is it?
It's not my system, it's your system, so don't ask me questions like that.
Okay, but I need to establish
Yo,
the
he's
problem
disrespecting the
first before
school
I can know how
transcript
to
person.
like walk you through to get it.
He's like,
Are
it's
you
not
by
my
your
system,
computer?
it's your system.
So I can walk you through on how to get it.
What the fuck are you even talking
I've
about?
gone through the process before. I worked with, I tried to work with Daniel Spike to see if he can get through the information. I don't know if he's with you guys anymore, but it just seems like the ball keeps getting dropped.
He then directly asks about the certificate, only to be confronted with the shocking reality of the situation.
Now, if you've earned a certificate, say in that solar program,
You said
where does that get requested through?
if you earned a certificate?
Yeah.
I don't see that you earned a certificate. There were no like, you were taking IT classes, right? I don't see that you were in a program.
But prior to the IT, there was a solar program too.
Yeah, but I don't see that you were Chandler Anderson.
No, there was an old account that got changed to this new one. So would it be under the old account that didn't get, or did all that get transferred over? Can you tell if those two were combined or not?
Hold on and see. No, I don't see a request for duplicate account. There was no.
How far back does that account go that you're looking at? Like when was the first class taken?
18, spring of 2018.
Oh, okay. So that does have all the history then.
Said I don't see that you were admitted in any program.
Well, you said they were, the IT degrees in there, right?
No, those are just classes. Like you took general education classes and then the IT classes. You might have just took the classes but not be in the program.
It seems Bratt was planning to visit the college the next day alongside Chandler to resolve this issue once and for all. The last sign of life from Bart was the message he sent to Chandler on July 2nd at around 1:30
so the day
p.m.
before he
stating,
killed him,
"I'm ready
they
when
were
you
supposed
are."
to visit that
As
college.
detectives piece the story
Of the
together,
transcripts.
they uncover one of the most critical elements in any murder case: the motive. To Chandler, murdering his own parents in cold blood was the better option than facing the fallout of his exposed deceptions. He was arrested immediately after the interrogation on July 8th, 2021, and stood trial in January 2022 for the senseless murder of his own parents, all because he didn't want to be exposed as a liar. Chandler was charged with 8 felony counts, including 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of mutilating a corpse. He was found guilty on all major charges and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Ain't that some shit, dog? YouTube.
Come on outside.
Fuck Damani. Have a great night.